Hi guys, this is Sveta dressmaker, and today we will make a teddy zip-up jumper. Comfortable and so soft to wear. I use Sherpa fabric. It is a medium weight, moderate stretch knit. Also can be any like sweatshirt fleece, ponte knit, French terry or any non-stretch wool blend fabrics on your own choice. Then you will need ribbing band, or can be any stretch knit fabric for hemline or cuff. Metal or plastic zipper with a 20 cm of length. Then thread in the same tone as your fabric. Also you will need a twill tape. I use a decorative one. And patterns. You can get them on my Etsy shop. The link I attached below video in the description. Also check out as well my crop puffer vest pattern. That's so easy to make and it can be a perfect outerwear for spring, autumn and mild winter. It's really soft and fluffy, which is perfect for this sweatshirt, and it has a good stretch, which will make it comfortable to work with. Place pattern along direction which has less stretch. Also make sure the piles laying towards down. If you follow general rules, you need to fold fabric in half, right sides together, and selvage to selvage, then lay out patterns. But I fold fabric how much I need and cut patterns one by one to save fabric. Make sure that front and back patterns placed on folded edge of fabric, as they are whole cut pieces. Back pattern I just flip over for following right direction of piles of fabric. Then cut out two pieces of sleeve following same rules. Band collar also place on a fold fabric. Lower hem part cut on ribbing band or any stretch knit fabric as one whole piece. By the way, cuff for sleeve I cut on main fabric, but you can also use that rib knit fabric. Clip notches, tiny short strokes on the seam allowances. I also cut notches on the folded edge from both sides of central front and central back lines. When fabric is fraying, mark notches instead of clipping it. And let's see what we have cut out. 1 piece of ribbing band, 2 pieces of sleeve cuff, 1 piece of stand collar, 1 piece of back panel and 1 of front as well. And then 2 sleeves. Fuse half of both pieces of sleeve cuff, then half of collar stand. Also fuse neckline and armhole from both sides of front and back panels to prevent those parts from stretching. Then fuse upper cup line of sleeve. Then cut a rectangle out of interfacing with a 14 cm of length and 4 cm of width. Place on center front line as it marked on pattern and give a press. Redraw a line for zipper placement. There is a notch end of zipper. It marked on pattern as well. Do not cut it, just mark. Then stitch around drawing line, creating a frame. Cut some distance along line, stopping 1-2 cm before end of zipper notch. First place back and front panels, right sides together, match up shoulder lines, sew 1 cm away from the edge. Then serge seam allowance from both sides. Give a press, place seam allowance towards the back. Take the collar detail and match up fuse side with the neckline. Starting from center front line. Match shoulder notch with the shoulder line on the neckline. center back notches all around, coming back to the central front point. Sew 1 cm away from the edge. Serge it as well. Also serge other long side of attached collar. Give a press to a neckline seam allowance, placing it towards the collar. Then I will use this kind of twill tape, but you can also take a simple one, as I was mentioned before in a sewing supply list. This twill tape we will sew around neckline and zipper. It will prevent those parts from stretching, so give a press to it first. Place this twill tape on the another serged edge of collar. Sew around 2 mm from the edge. Cut a bit this neckline opening till the marked zipper end notch. Open the zipper, flip and place the zipper tape along the neckline opening, right sides together. The top edge of the zipper should match the vertical center of the collar. There is a notch as well. And the last pin in the corner of sewing frame. Then sew by hand . And zip up. Mark on other side of zipper tape neckline seam. Open zipper and match it with the neckline and along the opening. Sew by hand and zip up again. Then check if neckline level is on the same line and at the bottom of zipper part is flat and no any bulkiness. Cut to the corners of the sewing frame on the angles, stopping 1 mm before the very tip of the corner. Pin the both sides of zipper till the end. Then sew in the middle of the zipper tape for both sides. You can use one side zipper foot. At the end of the zipper, pull out a little bit of the triangle and then secure it, being careful with the zipper teeth, sewing slowly. You can also do it by hand as I show, so that you won't break your machine needle. Sew twill tape to zipper tape from the top edge of zipper. Tape should be 1.5 cm longer than the zipper, so turn it over the zipper and sew to secure, making a nice end. In the same way, sew the tape to the other side of zipper. Fold the top edge of zipper tape towards to the twill tape, then fold the collar over the zipper matching the edges. Make sure collar cover neckline seam from inside, then sew it. Turn the collar to the right side and check the symmetry. Pin the collar edge to the neckline seam covering it. First pin at the center front. Then shoulder points between these points. then at the center back point. Sew at the very edge of the twill tape under previous neckline seam. You can also top stitch at the very edge of the twill tape, which is on a zipper, but this step is optional. Give a press to that part. Pin the sleeve hemline to the cuff, right sides together. Matching center notch and both side edges. Distribute the remaining distance between points equally by creating gathers all the way. Sew 1 cm, same for other sleeve. Mark by pin front side of sleeve for both pieces. Pin the sleeves into the open armhole, matching all the marks, right sides together. Sew the sleeves into the armhole and serge the edge. I also serge at the same time hemline sleeve with an attached cuff piece. Press the armhole seam allowance towards the front and back, sleeve hem seam allowance towards the cuff. Pin the side seams of the sleeve and bodice right sides together, matching up armhole point, sleeve hem point and remaining distances between. Sew 1 cm away from the edge. Then serge both sides. I usually leave 2 cm of the overlock loop and pull gently one of the threads to make a kind of knot on it. Side seams of bodice and sleeves press towards back panel. Fold 1 cm of the cuff edge and cover sleeve hemline seam. You can stitch this part by hand. Ribbing band placed right sides together and sew both sides 1 cm long. Then press seam open, then fold it in half, matching seams wrong sides together, pin around and give a press to secure a fold. Then turn garment on the right side. And attach assembled rib band to a hemline right sides together, starting from one of the side line. Match up all notches as other side seam. Center front and center back lines. Start to overlock all the layers together, stretching distance from sideline to central front point, lining up edges. Avoid any bulkiness. Same from central front point to other sideline, then sideline to central back point and central back point back to the first side seam. Give a press to the seam. And it's done! Teddyzipupjumper is ready. I will be so glad to see your makes with the hashtag #SweaterDressmaker. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, check out my Etsy shop, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. See you next time, bye!